Hello, people of the internet, this is MNK Xbox, and I've just finished doing the T-34-3 review. Now it's on to the 112 review, because literally as I finished it I went and played a game in this beast, and had a very good game, that excellently illustrates exactly how to play this tank and how to play it well. Now, so, this is not a review, but a preview, and I say preview because I've said this on the T-34-3 review, so go watch that as well. Is that this is a preview because this is not how the final tank is going to be. Or it might be, but I don't know. For all I know, they could, buff the whole armor to 560mm, but give it no turret armor. It could be a tank destroyer. I don't know. What I do know is that this is what it's like now, so I'm going to preview it now for what it looks like now, and how you can expect it to be like. So yeah, this along with the T-34-3 came out about an hour and a half ago or 2 hours ago. Oh, wrong thing. It came out an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago as part of a mission, and all you had to do was play one game, just play a game and finish the game. Doesn't matter if you win or lose it, you just play the game. And you get this tank and this tank. And it's so funny trolling noobs who haven't kitted it up the way I have because they don't fire high explosive anti-tank. And basically you'll see in the game that it's just littered with 112s and T-34-3s because everyone's got one, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, new tank, let's play. Anyway, on to the actual stats of this. It has 1,500 hit points, which is, actually very good, a very good amount of hit points. For a tier 8 premium heavy tank, or a tier 8 tank at all. I mean, the IS-6, if we take a look, which is probably the thing I'm going to mostly compare it to, the IS-6 only has 50 hit points more, and the IS-3 I believe actually has less. I think the IS-3 is 1,300, but I could be very much mistaken, I have no idea. 1,450, so it's actually got 50 less. KV-4, 1,000, so it's, sort of in the mid-range. It's in the mid-range of hit points, so it's, it's alright. It can take a hit or two. Definitely can take a hit or two. Its weight currently is 46.6 tons with my loadout over here, with a 580 horsepower engine, which means it's not very mobile. Well, it's mobile, but it's not agile, and there's a difference between the two, I think, because basically I say agile is how fast it turns and how fast it can dodge things, and its mobility is how fast it can get somewhere. And 45 kilometers an hour is not bad for a heavy tank. I mean, it's, the medium tank only has 5 kilometers an hour more, so this is, a rather quick heavy tank, but the traverse speed is so slow that it's just, it's painful. So yeah, unfortunately I kind of derped out when I was putting on the crew skills here, but I will explain what I would put on had I not derped out. So the hull armor. This is the thing that really gets you here, and is probably the selling point of this tank, and the reason why and you'll see why I've been relating it to the IS-6. So it has 120mm of frontal armor, 80mm and 60mm. 80mm for the side, 60mm for the rear. Now the frontal armor, okay, it's 120mm, but look at the sloping on that. Wow! Oh, that's an amazing slope. Oh, the angling on that is... that's easily at maybe 200mm of, effective. But that, on top of that means that you angle it like this, and it's going to bounce off there, because the angle is too high for the 80mm, and it's going to bounce off here, because now it's at like 230mm of armour. Going around certain corners, you could probably angle it like this, or going on certain corners, if this side is covered, so let's say the building is here, you can angle it like this, and everything is just going to bounce straight off, because they can't hit this side here, apart from maybe a track. So yeah, it's excellent, absolutely amazing for bouncing shots, and you'll see me just bouncing shots left, right, and centre. It could just be because the noobs aren't using premium rounds, or it's just because they're shit and I was angling well, I don't know. But I think guns such as the... I mean, a 112 against a 112, if you can angle it well and if you can brawl with it well, you can win. You will win. You can play it well. You can win if you can master this and how to brawl with this. You can win a 1-on-1 with another 112. That was a lot of ones in one sentence. So yeah, now the turret armor. Wow. The turret armor. 240mm of sloped bouncy frontal armour, 130 at the sides, and 60 at the rear. Okay, so yeah, you could pen it from the rear, but front and sides, oh my days, it's amazing. This is a great hull-down tank. You know, getting yourself behind some cover and just raping everything is amazing with this thing. Now, whilst I'm on the topic of weak points, which I'm about to get onto now, these two little lumps that sort of sit on top are very inviting, juicy sniper targets that people can shoot at, and will always pen, always 100% pen. These are weak spots, so, you know, as I said with the T-34-3, keep your turret wiggling back and forth to, you know, discourage them from shooting here. At the same time, this is a weak spot here, lower glacis. I mentioned this on the T-34-3 review. Any half-competent World of Tanks driver will know when to spot a weak spot. You know, lower glacis and commander's hatches are generally the obvious targets. I'm not sure, but this thing here could be a weak spot, but you're better off shooting for the lower glacis. If you're in a position to shoot this thing, you're probably in a position to shoot these things as well, or maybe even this thing. So go for the easier to hit targets, don't waste shots maybe missing this, and not doing any damage and just bouncing, because this is just a bouncy tank that just bounces shit left, right and centre. Anyway, onto the gun. Right. I said the same thing with the T-34-3. This gun is very closely related to the IS-6's gun. Has the same, near enough the same rate of fire, same penetration, same accuracy, and same aiming time. We're about to have a look here. Which basically means that it kind of exists to sell gold if you wish. I just brought off the tank stats, not actually looked at the gun. Oh well. Derp. So yeah, here's the D30, 122mm D30. It has a faster rate of fire. I mean, the D25 TA is the exact same gun that you get on the T-34-3, but it fires slightly faster. Just ever so slightly faster, by a few milliseconds faster. But nowhere near as fast as the 5.13 rounds that the IS-6 gets off. But other than that, same penetration, same damage, same accuracy, same shocking accuracy, might I add, because it's absolutely fucking terrible. Oh my god. 0.46 accuracy is bad. Oh my god, it's bad. Just bad. 3.4 aiming time is terrible. Again, just bad. And they both weigh the same. But the gun is a steaming pile of shit unless you're using gold, but even then you could just be making a loss, really, because with this accuracy and this aiming time you're not going to be, you know, winning any sniper fights anytime soon. But what, does this ring any bells? This gun, along with this armour, means it's great for brawling. If you can shove this gun right up into the face of, I don't know, another heavily armoured tank, a more heavily armoured tank like the I don't know, the Tiger II, for example. Shove this gun in the face of a Tiger II, aim for his lower glacis, his machine gun port, or even his commander's hatch, and then you're just gonna, you know, carefully well-aimed shots from point-blank range, you will do well in. As you saw in the T-34-3 review, or preview even, if you've gone and watched it, I missed 3 shots in a row from 136 metres, or 187 metres, or whatever. So yeah, it's not a good gun for sniping. Don't snipe with this. You can snipe with this, but you're sort of crossing your fingers and sort of playing the lottery when you do, because sometimes it's like, okay, I'm gonna go like a fucking laser and point, the shell's gonna land where I pointed the gun, or it's gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna listen to you, your mouse is irrelevant, you're pointing your gun over here, but the shell's gonna go 90 degrees to the left. You know, it's just one of those guns that, yeah, don't snipe with it. Get up in the face, shove it in the face of enemy tanks, and just sort of say, haha, suck my dick, you can't pen me, I'm penning you. And to be honest, I don't really, there's one instance where I go brawl, but for the most part I do play sort of long range, and this is a noob-friendly premium tank, I have to admit. I mean, I got used to playing this very quickly. I mean, one look at the stats, one look at the angling of the armour, and all of a sudden I was just like, okay, right, angle it like this, and jobs you're good in. you just bounce shit left, right, and centre unless they know where they're shooting you. And there's only, you know, this is the test server, and when you're on the test server, just assume everyone's playing, you know, just assume that everyone that's on the test server has not even gotten past a tier 1 tank, or not even gotten past a tier 5 tank, because to be honest, that's the majority of the test server. But of course there are the odd few players that actually know what they're doing, like me and some other good players, like if you've ever watched The Mighty Jingles or Quickie Baby, they know what they're doing. And yeah, but there's no XVM, so you can't really tell, you can't really evaluate the opposition. So yeah, so I've got the same setup near enough that I have on the T-34-3, you know, prem rounds loaded, because it's what it's there for. You know, if you're on the test server, use premium shells all the time. But in real life, but you know, actually speaking, you'll be using these and they will bounce a lot more than what I will show you. Small first aid kit, small repair kit. I found that these two tanks do get set on fire a lot, so I would have a fire extinguisher here, but I just like going with the improved combat rations or extra combat rations or strong tea or strong coffee or whatever the fuck it is for each nation. I don't really know. I don't really care. I just go with this because it just gives a bonus to the crew skills. And along with that, I have a gun rammer. That sounded really weird, I don't know why. A gun rammer, vents, and coated optics, because it's got really shitty view range for a tier 8. Like I said, most tier 8, like I said in the T-34-3 review, most tier 8 tanks have 400 meter view range. This doesn't. This got 380, so it's sort of mediocre. It's not the worst view range, but it's not the best. It's sort of mediocre in between. So I've got coated optics to improve that, and vents to improve everything on this. Yeah, and a gun rammer to just improve how fast this fires. It's just, you know. Now, I don't really understand what's happened here. Usually, for this sort of tank, I think I would probably go for something like, I don't know. I'd probably go for recon. Recon, then Sixth Sense, and then Situational Awareness. And then for the gunner, I would probably go for... Oh, look at that, I got a sniper medal, didn't I? After saying how shit the gun accuracy was. No, I'd probably go for, maybe not Snapshot, but I would probably go for repairs on the gunner. Missed out the driver. For the driver, I would go for clutch braking, just to improve the traverse speed slightly. Because it's got a 26 degrees per second traverse speed, which is not amazing at all. So yeah, and for the loader, which is this guy, I believe, you want to go for repairs. So basically, just go for repairs on most of them. And you know, repairs is not a bad idea on all heavy tanks, because the faster you can get your tracks up, you know, the better. I mean, if you why waste 3,000 credits getting yourself out of a situation where you could have gotten yourself out of had you had repairs on, and then, you know, getting into another shitty situation where you really, really need the repair kit and not being able to use it. So yeah, well, that's enough of me babbling on about how it looks on paper and, you know, how pretty it looks and the camouflage and everything, and me just sort of doing this for the last 20 fucking minutes. Let's see how it actually performs in battle. So I shall see you in the game. So this is the game that I played on the new reworked Kamarin map. I never actually played this game originally, so I don't really know what it was like, but I heard a lot of people disliked it a lot. So yeah, I played this about, what, 30 minutes ago? Literally just after I did the T-34-3 review, and this is just a great example of how you can angle this tank effectively. So I've only played a few games on this map, and even fewer games with this tank, so you know, it just shows how noob-friendly it is, really. So I'm just sort of I decided to go off towards the left of the map over here, not really knowing what to expect, and I sort of think to myself, oh shit, it's going to be another one of those games. I'm going to go over to the left of the map, or I'm going to go over to the map, one side of the map, I'm going to have no support, I'm going to get nuked instantly, and to be honest, that's what it looked like to begin with, and then nothing could penetrate me, and I just dished out the pain. Now, there was a bit of bad play by me as I go and park up next to a building, because I wasn't really being too aware. I sort of tunnel visioned a little bit, and I didn't really look at my mini-map, or just what was on my screen in general. So it was a bit of bad play by me. So I move over towards this church structure here, and this is where I sort of camp out the majority of the game. Now I see this T-34. Oh no, Object 416. I just expect everything to be a T-34-3 all of a sudden. Now I'm not sure if you could see that, but there's a little medium over here, and he was a good player. Now I plant a good shot over there into the T-34-3. I repair my tracks because I don't want to be caught there again. And here's where the trolling begins. So I'm using premium rounds and straight through the angled front, and oh, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Boop, dink, straight off the front of the tank. You know, it's got the exact same gun and just bounced straight off because I angled well. Now I just sort of brawl it out for a while with this T-34-3 and do some damage to some other tanks as well. So I try and re-angle, reposition. Both bounce, which shows you the horrible accuracy of this thing, and just is it just, like I said, sometimes it refuses to work and cooperate, and sometimes it's like, okay, no, yeah, fine. Another bounce straight off the front. And then I think after a while he realizes, okay, I'm not going through the front of his tank. What can I do to adjust my aim? I try and take a shot at the 112, but no. What can I do to adjust my aim? And then a few seconds later he plants one straight through my lower glacis, and I wasn't really paying attention here. I can't remember exactly what it was that I was doing. And I sort of joined back into the game, and there we go. That's the first penetrating shot that I've taken, and look, he adjusted his aim straight into the lower glacis, the weak spot which I as aforementioned. So I decide, alright, okay, enough of this trolling. He knows where to shoot me now. I'm going to side scrape. And it works, but I miss. He blows my tracks off, and I get my tracks blown off again by another annoying bastard over on the right. Luckily it doesn't cost me much hit points. In fact, I don't think it cost me any hit points at all. And the, you know, T-34-3 tries to side scrape as well, tried to copy me. Nah. Your arm is too thin, sonny. But this thing can really dish out the pain if you can angle it well. I definitely think I'm going to get myself this tank on the live server, because it's so fun. I don't know what it is, and I realise that I'm over-angling, you know, over-side scraping here, and just quickly readjust. Now at this point I decide, okay, there's only 2 tanks over here left. I'm sort of going to go for it. I don't know what happens to that T-34-3. I don't really hear much from him again. So yeah, so I jink just in time to get the bounce off the 112, and here's where the brawling begins. This is where the, you know, really great brawling attributes. So we both side scrape and we both bounce, which shows you that I was using premium rounds, and even with premium rounds I bounced, and you know, he was using standard, so I was expecting a bounce from him but not from me. So here's where the brawling attributes comes. Like, if you know where to shoot, where to brawl, how to brawl, you know, I'm keeping myself angled all the time here, and I'm trying to just sort of maneuver my arm a little bit here, sort of not give him the opportunity to shoot at me, and I bounce off the front of his tank there, which shows you the troll nature, and I don't actually know where he pens me. So I'm just trying to keep myself moving, you know, back and forth, then there's the kill. Now there's only 2 more guys left alive on the team, and the KV-4 with that, you know, gun that does a lot of penetration only blows my tracks off. And then he bounces off me a second time after I plant a shot into him. So yeah, drawing pretty much to the end of the game now, and not much left to it really. This has been the 112 review of M&K Xbox. Could be the first, well, preview actually, could be the first preview of these 2 Chinese medium tanks. I definitely recommend that anyone gets this tank. Very noob friendly, you know, easy to maneuver, not fast but not slow. You can angle it well. It's not like one of those tanks like the IS-3 where the angles are there for you. You know, angle it and you're a retard because people shoot at the de-angled surface. And I explain more about that in my IS-3 review if you go and click on that, which could be on screen, but I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, it's not like one of those tanks that are pre-angled for you and you can't angle. This tank you are very much at liberty to angle and adapt to how you are brawling with this tank. And, you know, getting up close and personal with tanks like you saw, like the other 112. You know, we were both on the same even playing field there, other than the fact that I was using premium rounds. And that I might have been a bit more experienced, but, you know, he wasn't angling. I was keeping myself angled towards him at all times. I was keeping the high effective armor of this tank, which is really the strong selling point of this machine. So long as you can do that, you know, you're sort of in for the money there. I think I've got some post-game results after this, which I will show you now, momentarily. But other than that, thanks for watching. You don't have to look at the post-game results, you can cut the video out here, but thanks for watching. This has been the MK Xbox review of the 112 Premium Tier 8 Chinese Heavy Tank on the 8.8 test server.